All right, let's get to it. It's Wednesday. It's time for Alan Wake. I have basically no idea where we were, but that's fine. We'll hopefully get a little recap and go to it. Probably a shorter stream today because it was late to start. Wait, why is it? Yeah, this is fine. But yeah, it is what it is. I thought we... Oh, right. Yeah, we got on the helicopter. We got off the helicopter. The bird showed up. I have no idea why we're here, but that's fine. I mean, we're just doing Alan Wake stuff, right? Oh man, how do those two clips work? Okay. Sprinting? Sprinting. Right, we have lost all our weapons again. Curious if that's gonna make a... Alright, I can pick up max ammo. It's gonna be real interesting to see which, mechanical level design decisions return for the sequel. Like, are we gonna lose our weapons in between every level again? Are we... Yeah, it'll just be interesting to see what they opt to keep, what they opt to change.
For the door to open.
Presumably I can just shoot it. Yeah. Ooh. Sneaky, sneaky, sneaky. Cool. Yeah, easy. Back in the swing of things. Okay. It's interesting. Like, so much of the rest of the game up to this point has felt familiar. I have zero recollection of this particular location. Maybe it'll come back to me later? I mean, I guess from the opening. Oh, let's listen to this.
They always remind me of our local rock legends, the old gods. I couldn't tell you why. I guess it's just, you know, one of those things. Anyway, here's Poets of the Fall.
Oh. Jeez. Yeah. I'm suspecting... Oh. Ah, come on. Oh. That's bullshit. Yeah, I suspect that we're gonna end up, at the dam, which I remember, but this particular part, I have no recollection of. Oh, we can shoot this. That's probably better. Nope, it had no effect. Wow. Ah. Better. Oh. Oh my god. That was... Oh right, flares. Gotta remember how to do this. Oh, not like that. Oh, it's gonna be a long night.
And here's a new song from a band that
Okay. Going great so far. Oh, what the? It's, I pressed flare and then tried to dodge, and because I was getting the flare out, it, oh, this is going great. Because I was getting the flare out, it, wouldn't respond. Like, I was locked into the action I had incorrectly prioritized. Another flare would be real nice right about now. Ah. God damn it. This rate, this is gonna be a real short stream.
And here's a new song from a band that they always remind me of.
Ah, you jerk. Yeah, this is, you know, the same problem we had with this game before is I'm not here for the combat, right? And, oh man. And, you know, I'm just here for the vibes, for the story. And so when it gives me a hard combat thing, oh, I am, it's so much more frustrating than it is in a game where it's like, yeah, this is what I'm here for. Oh, okay. Oh, god damn it, Duncan. Oh, hi, Sarah. Hi, everyone. Good lord. Hey, Caspian. Thanks for lurking. We are... I have no idea how far. I can't remember where we left off. Okay, we're just gonna run past this section because I've died to it like 4 times. Because I'm... Oh my god. I'm pretty sure I should have died right there because of the thrown weapon. We're just running away because it's not going well. Okay, now we'll go back and explore. I think all the enemies despawn after this point. Oh my god. Oh, thank you for the follow, Lee. Okay, so they didn't despawn, but we gotta get this this thermos. Oh man. Thank you, Olive, for follow. Ah! Ow. This is going great. No. Stand back. Out of the way. Thank you. Oh. Hi, Sarah. I'm Ian. Oh, hi, Taylor. Thank you for the follow. Good lord. I'm overwhelmed here. Yeah, I'm Ian. I am a game developer, I guess. Previously worked on Dead by Daylight. Currently working on Helldivers 2. Not doing any of the like exciting game parts of it, but yeah. And so I'm streaming to play through my Steam backlog. Alan Wake is a game I have played before, and replaying it now because there's a sequel coming out.
The plant glowed in the night. It was close, but I had to find a way across.
So we're refreshing our memory on what's happening. And right now I have no idea. I do not recall like this part of the game from previous playthroughs, so we're kind of flying blind. Yeah, Millie, who are you? Or are we just responding to questions with questions? Is that the correct etiquette here? No. Oh, okay. That's teaching you not to walk into the electrified wires, because you will die. Okay, so jumping puzzle? Nope, guess not. Yeah, Dunk, who are you? Oh! Oh, we just fall down here. I know what I'm doing. Alright, just picking up some ammo. People have randomly led around this, what is this, even? It's like a... Oh, there's a word for it. Like an electrical substation? That sounds like a thing, right? Oh, I guess I should have ammo on my gun, huh? No. Rude. Okay. They're having a bad day, and they're trying to take it out on me. I don't find it too scary if Hayu is still here, but it's definitely got the scary game vibes. Substation is the kitchen counter where I make my sandwiches. Wait, isn't that just a station, Millie? Correct, yes. They're possessed by darkness, and they don't react well to light, so you shine the light on them, which is what that, like, circle is that shrinks down, and when that disappears, they are no longer protected by darkness. Ah. So, like, we're breaking through his, I don't even know what you call it, his darkness shield. I just realized that we were talking about, when we were playing Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion, we were talking about the frequency with which you find goo in video games, and I realized this has goo in it as well, where there's, like, bits of darkness goo. Yeah, you shoot them and they evaporate. Well, they kind of, like, explode, evaporate. Yeah. And now we're collecting the pages of the story that we wrote, which, which is coming true. We wrote the story and now it's happening. It's becoming real life. All right, Cynthia on her way to the dam.
Making her way through the water pipe alone, Cynthia was angry at the writer. Foolish young man, taking unnecessary risks. And the way he broke the rules. Didn't he understand what was at stake? Since the terrible days in the 70s, she hadn't wavered once, as hard as it had been. She was tired of protecting the town all these long years, and now only wanted to rest.
All right. Well, he kind of entered a fugue state, Dunk, but he was also at the bottom of a lake in a cabin, which was on an island in the lake, but then sunk, like, well, in the 70s. And yeah, if you try to explain this story, like, literally start to finish, it's it's weird. I just read it, and it's good to know which games have goo in them. Yeah, he wrote a bunch of, yeah. It's a story that he wrote that's coming true, and questions, and magic, and darkness, zombie monsters. Heavily inspired by Twin Peaks, of course. From the same studio that brought us Max Payne 1 and 2, not 3. And also Control. Oh no, why is this taunting me? I need to get my coffee thermos. Collecting all my coffee thermoses. How did the rest of your stream go, Dunk? Did you, was this the stream where you beat Lost Egg? Or Lost Egg 2, rather? Ow! Did you make it further than last time, or are you still stuck on that, what, the second, third platform? Good lord. Firmly stuck in egg hell. Okay. On a good Hades run to start the stream. Excellent, excellent. Do you still get more, like, story stuff from Hades, or is it just, like, purely mechanical at this point? Because I know you've played, like, what, like 200 hours or something? Actually, I'm terrified to know how much you played of Hades. Have all the story... So not on my... Oh, so you're playing on, like, the hell difficulty now? Which is just like... Is that a new thing, or has that always been in the game? More Alan Wake story time. Wake's plan.
The story I had written in the cabin had come true. Touched by the dark presence, I had written a horror story, but the end was still missing. The story was incomplete, and the last unfinished page of the manuscript still sat in the typewriter in the cabin study. If I could get back there, if I could read the page, then I could write my own ending to this story and save Alice.
So, 418 and a half hours of Hades. Wow. So yeah, so this we're caught up now. Alan Wake wrote a story. It came true. But for some reason he left the last page in the. I have questions about why Alan Wake did it this way. It seems needlessly difficult. How's our physics go? Yeah. Yeah, Dunk, I'm really surprised it's taken you so long to beat Hades. I beat that game in like 20, 30 hours, and then I stopped playing because I'd beaten it. This is bait, by the way. Lieutenant William T.G. Randall Memorial Bridge. This bridge has been designated as a memorial in honor and in recognition of Lieutenant William T.G. Randall, 1919 to 1981, a World War II POW and recipient of the Distinguished Service Cross. He died of injuries received during his successful rescue of 2 children from a burning car crashed at this location. Does anyone know if this is a reference to something?
I couldn't get across until I found a way to turn the bridge.
All right, Dunk. See you later. Thanks again for the raid and for stopping by. I will continue to wake Alan. Oh, why? It is hell. I guess this turns the bridge. Big old bridge turning button. Okay, cool. Feels like there's got to be more stuff to explore around here. I'm surprised, like this is a big set piece. There was a helicopter earlier. Both things that I do not remember at all from this game, even though they're like, they're massive set pieces. Like, this is, someone spent a lot of time getting this thing up and running. Oh, I guess we're just hopping on.
More birds.
Great. Oh, what? Oh, that was a waste of a flare. Okay. The birds are also possessed by the darkness for some reason. No other animals, I don't think. There was a companion, like, short film series. Oh, helicopter. How did we manage to lose the flock? We just crossed the bridge. Why don't they just land and pick me up? Oh, because I have to watch some TV.
Are we men dreaming of being butterflies, or butterflies that dream of men? Such philosophical concerns are by necessity abstract. And yet, some of us can find concrete proof of the nature of our existence. In Night Springs.
This is
Tonight's episode, an absence of creativity.
a Twilight Zone kind of knockoff show within a game.
What did you want to show me?
Oh, Lydia, thank God you're here. Please, it's in the basement.
I wish the lights weren't on in this cabin so we could see the TV better.
That's amazing.
Isn't it just? I found it here this morning.
It's like it isn't there, but I can't look straight at it.
Yes, I'm sorry. How did you get here? Well, I'm trying to work.
Did you put this thing here?
To be more precise, I put everything here but that.
Really? But what is it?
Yes, the temptation is to call it a hole, but it's really an absence, a profound lack of reality.
In Martha's basement?
Yes, it was doing so well, too. I came up with 2 old ladies and put something really weird in the basement. It was a great start.
Oh, Lord.
Locked now. Can't imagine what I was up to.
I see where this is going.
Surely it's just an ordinary basement.
Is it? Why did you call your friend here then?
Well, I don't know.
Oh well.
Couldn't you just ignore it?
Oh no, I couldn't do that. It would probably turn into a plot hole. Might be one already. Could sink the whole enterprise. Listen, ladies, not to be rude, but I'm really not at all sure where I'm going with this, and you're just not helping. You should just go back upstairs for a cup of coffee while I try to figure out what I'm up to.
Well, if you think that's best.
Maybe I should just stop here. Or is that too moronic?
So this is...
Is that too moronic?
That's an interesting one.
Indeed. It's a fine line between the stupid and the sublime. Springs.
These walk a very fine line between, you know, kind of close to the Twilight Zone and closer to Futurama's The Scary Door, which, of course, itself was a riff on the Twilight Zone, but in a more strictly comedic sense. Oh, coffee thermos. It's interesting to see this, like, obviously it has parallels with this story about a writer, you know, stuck in his own creation, his own written work, much like the fictional author of that episode of Night Springs. But there's also parallels, like Max Payne has I think it's a drug scene where the title character is convinced he's, you know, stuck in all sorts of different things. You know, he's stuck in a comic, he's stuck in a movie, he's stuck in a video game. So that same kind of, like, that interest in, I guess, the power of authors to create, and the idea of there being, you know, a life within, oh, come on, within those created works. Oh, great. So that will be, I'm sure there's going to be more of that in Alan Wake 2. Since it does seem to be, I'm trying to remember if there's any of that in Control. There's nothing that I can remember. Although there are kind of, the kind of similar thing is, mild spoilers for Control, but very early on, the character you're playing ends up taking over for this fictional U.S. government agency looking into supernatural things. And when that happens, it's kind of like the state of the world changes. So there is kind of a similarity there in, you know, maybe the world is not as fixed, not as knowable as we think, and that there may be some kind of yeah, it's more like abstract version of it, I guess, where there is no strict author, but it is still a sense that the world is rewriting itself. More birds. Yeah, like, it's really interesting revisiting this game, a game I remember just like completely loving when it first came out. And there are definitely parts of it that, yeah, there are definitely lots of philosophical ideas in the games, and it's like, I love to see that kind of stuff peppered into what is otherwise just kind of like a pop culture thing. But yeah, like this game especially has a lot of like, part of me wonders if I'm doing more work than the game is, kind of thing, where if I'm like looking for hints and meaning that's not really there. But oh, yow, we're gonna die. We're gonna die. Oh, flare. But yeah, the game is clearly doing some of the work, even if it is leaving an opportunity for, you know, the audience to do to do more of it, which isn't a bad thing, you know. Ultimately, any creative work, the audience ultimately brings their own experiences to the table.
I
And
recognized the logo on the power plant sign. I'd seen a version of it painted all over the area, signifying hidden caches of supplies.
yeah, so yeah, every work, to a certain extent, you only get out of it what you put in. Or you can get more out of it if you're willing to put more effort in.
Hold it right there!
Miss Weaver! Cynthia! I'm a friend!
Prove it!
You knew Zane! Thomas Zane! You're the Lady of the Light in the song! You can help me!
About time! Young man, I've been waiting a very long time for you. It's in the well-lit room.
Excuse me?
What you need to drive the darkness back. The well-lit room is at the dam. I built the room to keep it safe.
Will it help me find Alice? Will it get me back to the cabin? Fine, let's go. I can get my friends to come back with the helicopter.
Oh, we won't go outside. Never at night. That's rule number 1. You've been breaking the rules, young man, and where has that gotten us, Oh, I have a secret route. A lit route. Old water pipe. Something was damaged at the transformer yard. It's draining all the reserve power. Without it, the pipe will go dark. The power to the yard must be cut.
Let me guess. You want me to do it?
Young man, you're the one who likes to break the rules. I can't be outside in the dark. Kill switch is outside.
Okay, hold on. I feel like the speech is maybe like a little low comparatively to some of the other stuff. I'm gonna just adjust some levels here. Do that, and then I need to adjust some stuff actually in OBS here. Okay, let's give that a shot and see if that... let's actually do a little bit more than that, just to bring the levels of some of this dialogue up. Hopefully this is not deafening. If it is, I apologize. Okay, that seems better. I'm just gonna... Okay, that seems okay. Looking at the levels anyways. Let me know if it requires some more adjustment.
been preparing for these times, the dark tides. You have found my caches, haven't you? You can see the signs. Very few people can. Yes, please. Take what you need. This is all for you, for the likes of us. We do Tom's work, don't we? Hurry! The switch is on the wall facing
Wow.
the shore.
The difference in tone between those three line reads was very stark. Like, just, it seemed like 3 lines of dialogue.
To the well-lit room if the lights in the pipe go out. You must go outside to use the emergency switch.
Yes, okay. It just seemed like 3 lines of dialogue that were supposed to play with a bit more gap between them. That just got crammed together for whatever reason. No, this is where we came from. Did she say a direction I was supposed to go to, aside from outside? I guess down here. Is it just this? Okay, I guess not. Nope. More than oh, come on. More than anything, I would love a version of this game, or really any game by Remedy, just without combat. Like, I know, or I feel like to a lot of people, the combat in the
Weaver had
games
sent me to cut the power to the transformer yard. I was willing to do
is something
grunt work
Remedy is
for her
known
to get her
for,
to help me.
but
I hoped Weaver was dependable. I'd stumbled into this crazy world a little over a week ago. She had been living this insanity for decades.
But yeah, I would love to see just more games with less combat, honestly, but also specifically to see Remedy experiment in that space, because the vibes are good. There's some interesting stuff in the writing, even if it is not,
I could see
entirely
the kill
without
switch
problems.
that would cut the power to the transformer yard. Now I had to find a way to reach it.
Yeah, it's just like, it's a world I'm curious to explore, and I would just love to see them. I'd love to see them try it. I would love to see a lot of studios try it,
If I
honestly.
could figure out the gates, I could use them to get to the kill switch.
Oh, to be operated by authorized personnel only. Well, we're gonna break the rules. Oh, it's one of these puzzles. So what, then we do this again? Yeah. Or was that not what I was supposed to do? I was supposed to, I guess, close it so I can actually get across. Cool, well, that worked. Oh, we're supposed to shoot these. We can't shoot those. Shoot the canned Veermans.
Who designs these things?
Oh. It's a jumping puzzle now?
The transformer yard
just
looked dark
timing it?
and dead. Weaver's water pipe passage should now be good to go.
Okay. There's a little bit of lamp shading there, which there was plenty of in Turnip Boy yesterday. Oh. Oh, there's like a, yeah, another thing I'm going to be curious to see if they do better in Alan Wake 2 is just the responsiveness of the controls. Like, so many times I try to do a thing and it does not seem to, it doesn't do what I expect. Chainsaw? No, that's okay. Did we get him? We did not. Ow. Oh, I forgot to reload. Now we're in trouble. Okay, good, good, good. I feel like we're probably at the second to last episode, chapter, whatever of this. Kind of hoping. I'm definitely feeling ready to wrap this game up.
This way, young man. Follow me. Come, come. The pipe's empty now. We're ready to go.
Alright, we're in a story section now, I think.
This way. We need to go. I knew them both, Tom and Barbara. I had such a crush on him. Such a beautiful man. I was jealous. There was a part of me that was maybe a little glad when she had the accident. And then
Okay.
Tom started writing and woke the darkness up. He tried to bring her back, but you can't do that. There are no free rides like that.
I'm starting to realize that.
In that case, young man, perhaps you're a smarter man than Tom was. The witch looked like her, but it wasn't. Barbara was sweet. He didn't understand until it was too late. He tried to undo it, wrote himself, her, everything he'd ever written out of the world. Oh, he was so famous. And afterward, no one knew. Oh, Tom. He left only one thing behind in my care, in case it happened again. Insurance. He trusted me. Or perhaps used me a little. Tom knew how I felt. Knew I wouldn't refuse him. I built the well-lit room and put it there. It's been waiting for you. We are characters trapped in a story you have written, and none of us will survive to see the end of it if the darkness isn't stopped. She'll twist the story to her own dark ends.
How do you know all this?
Tom, that's the way he wrote it. He still talks to me, you know, in television, from beyond, from below. We have both been touched by the darkness, young man. He saved us both with light, but the darkness stays with you. Leaves a stain.
I can't believe they just cut away.
This pipe will take us directly to the well-lit room.
Okay, I need to call my friends, tell them where we're going.
Hello? Al!
Barry, we're headed to the dam in one of the pipes. Meet us there.
Okay, I'll tell Sarah.
It's Sarah now?
Whoa! No! For the sweet love of...
Barry! Barry! We gotta go see if they're okay.
They're probably dead. You must reach the well-lit room. This is no time to be a selfish idiot.
That's my best friend.
That's his agent. That's...
Well, be a fool. I'll use the pipe. I'll meet you at the dam if you make it.
That doesn't look good. Okay, that's very
At
good.
least I didn't have to worry about her. She knew how to stay safe.
The just him jumping and falling immediately is excellent. Yeah, some interesting things. I think it's hilarious that they had her like opening that door, and after however long she'd been talking, it was open like this much, and then they just like smash cut into the cutscene where they're walking through the pipe. Like, they were probably there for like 45 minutes as she like slowly turned and opened the thing. Such a weird choice for, I don't know why they would do. Probably it's probably a time constraint. Like that's probably a development time constraint where they're like, we don't have time to make a big fancy environment, so we're just gonna have him stand here. Or we're like, we've already made a big fancy environment, we don't have the time to make it bigger and fancier. So sorry, we're just doing an awkward talking transition as this thing opens. But also interesting, you know, we have again, so Thomas Zane was a writer who was writing in the cabin and kind of like kicked this whole thing off. The Dark Presence, you know, possessed him and had the things that he wrote came true. And so we just discovered that one of the things Thomas Zane wrote was writing Barbara, his dead, like, love interest, back to life. And now she has become Barbara Jaeger, which is Jaeger being what the German and several other languages word for hunter. And it's also a play on Baba Yaga, which is like a, I don't know technically like how to describe. I was going to say like a witch, which is kind of true, but kind of like a boogeyman, I guess. So yeah, he, I guess through writing, tried to bring her back, and she came back wrong. But of course, the parallel is Alan is trying to do the same thing with his wife, who is not dead, but was kind of like dragged below the surface of the lake by the Dark Presence. So yeah, that's an interesting one. It'll be interesting to see if they do anything with that in the sequel. I don't remember them doing anything with it in this game. Yeah, Millie, a forest-dwelling creature of Eastern European folklore, usually compared to witches. Okay, so I was not a million miles off. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see if there's some indication that Alan Wake's wife came back wrong. Where I seem to recall at the end of this game, she gets kind of saved. Alan manages to sacrifice himself. Spoilers, maybe? Sorry. I honestly can't remember the details, so I could be. I'm sure there's nuance to it that I'm forgetting. Anyways, the falling helicopter. This is the other thing. Alan Wake, like, he wrote this thing, and now all the things are happening. But if the falling helicopter is a thing that he wrote, well, why would you put your friends through that?
Sarah was almost starting to relax. Maybe they could turn this into a win yet. Suddenly, there was a piercing sound, like a table saw gone wild, as 100 birds made out of shadows swarmed into the rotor. The chopper bucked wildly and the board lit up, telling her what she already knew. They were going down. Barry Wheeler screamed next to her.
Like, come on, Alan. Give your friends an easy time. Yeah, I'm very curious if the manuscript pages, I expect, like, you know, the light-based combat, I expect to make a return for Alan Wake 2. The pages, I kind of expect have to, because Alan is, well, yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing. But I'll be curious to see, like, honestly, I wouldn't be upset if I would actually be super excited if they, like, tried to reinvent it and were just like, yeah, no, we're doing some different things. Light to break through the darkness shield? Nah, we're done with that. Like, I'm fully here for creative work, just changing it up. They are dark birds, yes, Sarah. We can pretend they're composed entirely of darkness. No real birds harmed. I'm just shining lights on them. So, most birds, that's not a big deal. Yeah, that would be, if you shine a light on a bird and it does that, be concerned. Well. We're doing great. No, this is, yeah, we're still playing Turnip Boy, Turnip Boy, oh my god, I can't remember the name. Commits tax evasion, yeah. This is what happens later on. The vegetables evolve into people, and the tax collectors turn into shadow birds. Yeah, it was a real twist. I wasn't expecting it. But here we are. It was, yeah, all the pages that we tore up also are now contain stories that are coming true. Oh, go away, birds. Go away. Whew. What's wrong with Twitch desktop, Riley?
Breaker! Sarah!
The crash site looked bad, but as far as I could tell, the wreck was empty.
Yeah. Oh, Sarah, did you just notice that you escaped the crash? Yeah, you were on that helicopter. Yeah, we don't know where you are, Sarah. Could you please tell us where you are so that we can come find you? Oh, there you are.
Barry!
Thanks, Sarah.
Barry! Hang in there, I'm coming! Get the hell back, you freaks!
Oh, this would be better to start. Let's go player on that.
Al! Al! Here's another one!
I will waste it on this, though.
Shooting! I lost him! Oh, this is bad! I could have sworn I saw him! Stay back! Keep shooting! Oh, no you don't!
So important question, Riley, is
You know when to make an entrance, Wade. We were
Is
ready
the
to make
wedding
like
people
Butch
who live in
Cassidy and the
Crete?
Sundance Kid.
or is it a
I have
destination
different
wedding?
thing in mind.
Yeah, I'm fine. Thanks for asking.
I knew you'd be all right.
How's that?
The flaming eye of Mordor?
Ah, laugh it up, funny man. Didn't we have somewhere to go?
Weaver will meet us at the dam.
Husband is from Crete. Okay.
When you spend most of your night running uphill while the crazy bunch of demon hicks try to take your head off with an axe, you know your helicopter crash landed in Night Springs.
Come on, Al. Couldn't we just wait here? Please?
I mean, yeah. That's fine, Barry.
I should have kept that gym membership.
You see those lights? That's the elevator we need to take.
Yeah, destination for some. As long as there's family there, I think it's okay. It's when people just like pick a random destination for a nice wedding, but no one, no one on the guest list lives there. That I'm like,
Hell is that thing?
That's a big ask for 100% of your
Nothing
guests.
moves like that. It's impossible.
Ah! Al! Do something!
I'm trying, Barry.
He's too fast. I can't get a shot.
Okay, how about we do this?
There! No, there! Al, they're all over the place!
How many of them are there? Where'd that one go?
2, I think.
This can't be happening!
Far enough. Wait, this is bad. This is really bad. Hold it right there.
Okay, that.
Was that it? Are we safe?
Considering we faced that enemy several times, the
We're okay.
attempt to like up the stakes and stuff was not
Call the elevator.
bad
I'm keeping
feeling.
watch. Let's
Not
keep
working
our
for me.
eyes
Moving
open.
around.
like if that was the first time we encountered those enemies, I think that would have been super effective to have the people with you being like, "What's going on?" But like we've encountered those like I don't know
Heads
a half
up!
dozen
Here
times
they
or
come.
something.
Oh no! Oh no!
They're coming. We have to hold them off. Freeze!
Where are they?
Oh no!
Oh,
Shooting. Hold it right there. Hold it right there.
I swear this is the slowest elevator in the world!
again, lamp shading.
No, you don't. Cut 'em off.
Why? I almost tried to
It's
shoot
almost
Barry.
here, Wake. Just hold on. Cut 'em off.
Oh. Oh, my batteries died. Okay.
Al, hit the button!
Why do I have to do it?
We're almost there. There's an entrance into the dam at the top. What's the plan, Wake?
Well, Weaver's crazy, but she's got something Zane left behind. Something to fix this.
Gee, could you be a little more vague?
Thomas Zane? Seriously? Might as well be Paul Bunyan or Bigfoot.
Yeah, well, he was real.
That's so... He wrote it so that everyone except one person forgot he existed. But somehow people still
Jeez, I hate
know
this.
his name? I have questions about how that worked.
Okay, Wake. There's a button over there that opens the door.
Come on. I wonder why they didn't just have, like, the other characters hit the buttons. Like, was
I
it...
think something's broken. Hold the button down so we can get in.
Ah, okay, there it is. So now they go ahead and we're separated. Yeah. That was a little excessive.
What's happening out there?
You guys go ahead and find Weaver. She should be in the dam now.
That
I'll have
feels-
to make it alone through the top.
Okay, wait. Good luck. Don't get yourself killed.
Al, please be careful.
I'll take
Which way
good
do we
care of
go?
Barry, Wake. You just look after yourself.
This feels like the kind of thing that in playtesting people were like trying to still go through the door even though it had slammed shut, so they were like, okay, we'll just have a massive thing fall down in front of it to really make clear, like, no, you can't go this way.
Down, boy.
Quip's not totally successful here. Alright, Zane's shoebox.
Thomas Zane knew he had to remove all that had made this horror possible, including himself. That was the only way to banish the dark presence he had unleashed and now looked at him through the eyes of his dead love. But he also knew that despite his best efforts, it might someday return. So even as he wrote himself and his work out of existence, he added a loophole as insurance, an exception to the rule. Anything of his stored in a shoebox would remain.
Yeah, this gets back to the question we've debated in previous episodes about, you know, Alan Wake wrote Thomas Zane into the story, wrote Thomas Zane's exception into his story. So is Thomas Zane entirely a creation of Alan Wake? Did, you know, Alan Wake bring that character or other characters in the story, other people, completely into existence by writing them into his story within the story? And I mean, I guess that's kind of the point of the game, is that stuff is impossible to unpack. You know, right at the very first episode, Dunk was watching some of that, and I'm kind of questioning, like, how much of this is Alan Wake? Like, is the whole dark presence concocted by Alan Wake as part of his story? And we'll never know. You know, are the events of Control entirely within the fiction of Alan Wake? Like, did he write those characters, those people into existence? I wonder if it's a thing where the writers on this game actually know the answer to it, or if they were just like, yeah, it's ambiguous, that's fine.
I was ridiculously outnumbered. The searchlight could even the odds.
Ah, gotcha. I'm glad it said that, because otherwise why did they all just stop walking when I started flashing? Okay. This is a classic of contemporary video games. It's the turret section. I don't know why, like, they're not coming towards me, they're just standing there. Which feels like... it feels broken. Like, we're just regular shining it on them, and then one little quick zap and they die. I don't think I can get that guy because he's stuck behind the crates. Okay, now he's walking. But then I get... oh, this is perfect. So I can just stop them walking towards me by getting into the searchlight turret. I'm wondering if this is like...
Enough. You will go no further.
I'm wondering if this was always broken for, like, the Xbox version, or...
Stop now.
If it was a new bug introduced in the PC version. Okay. Yeah, no. Oh, we can't go this way because the path again is missing. I see, I see. Oh. What? Ow. I'm pretty sure we're dead if that hit us. Another thing I want in the game, just like you know, consequences to the horrific violence characters encounter. Like, if I get hit by a giant I-beam being thrown at me by some, you know, Shadow Evil. Oh, do I have to jump? I would die. But, Alan here just brushed it off. No problem. Just, yeah, like, this is impossible. See you, Sarah. Thanks for hanging out. Alan is built very different, yes.
You made it. Well done. I'm glad I was wrong. But it was a foolish chance to take. Don't worry about the noise. We're safe here. I have looked after the well-lit room for many, many years now. There is no shadow in the well-lit room. The power is fail-safe, and all the bulbs are numbered and changed regularly based on their make and model.
Right.
It's... yeah, Alan is built different, but so is basically every video game protagonist.
There's an old army base at Raid Cove Point, north of here. It was active during the Second World War. They operated here back then. They must have built this.
Yes, they did. It's my place now.
Yeah, it's, you know, less violence in video games, but if there is violence in video games, consequences. It should be dangerous.
And I won't need to worry about the room anymore, because 6 and 33 and 118 need changing soon, and I don't want to climb up the ladder to change them because it's very late, and I'm tired. And if you take it, I won't have to do that anymore.
LED bulbs would make this a lot
The page was
easier.
autobiographical, a memory from my childhood. But I didn't write this. It was a page written by Thomas Zane. None of them were supposed to exist anymore.
Alan, 7 years old, would fight sleep to the bitter end. When he did sleep, he soon woke up, screaming, the nightmares fresh in his mind. One evening, his mother, sitting by his bed, offered him an old light switch. She called it the clicker, and flicking the switch would turn on a magical light that would drive the beast away. To imbue the talisman with all possible power, she added that it had been given to her by Alan's father. Alan never knew him, and anything of his took on mythical proportions in his mind. With the clicker firmly in his hand, Alan finally slept like a baby. Now, almost 30 years later, Alan thought of this as he stood on the rim of Cauldron Lake, the clicker in his hand. He took a deep breath and jumped.
My mind swirled. I'd given the clicker to Alice, yet it was here. Zane had written it into existence, in a story I had written. I can get to her now. I can finish this.
So, okay, we're gonna skip this so we don't get muted. Or we
Previously
minimize
on
how
Alan
muted we
Wake,
are.
I wrote a horror story that has come true. Thomas Zane did the same in the 70s.
You will go no further.
If I continue like the Dark Presence wants me to, the story I'm writing won't save Alice. It's a horror story. No one will survive.
You knew Zane! Thomas Zane! You're the Lady of the Light in the song!
He left something behind to help me. The clicker.
Alan thought of this as he stood on the rim of Cauldron Lake, the clicker in his hand. He took a deep breath and jumped.
I can get to her now. I can finish this.
All right. Now we're back in time again. I think this is the first time Alan Wake has been out of uniform so far this game. No, still wearing a black hoodie though. So he just got rid of his top jacket.
I had a hangover. My head was about to explode and the light hurt my eyes. I needed my sunglasses and painkillers to dull the pain. In one of the finer moments of self-deception, I swore to quit drinking.
Yeah. Amazing. Couldn't just close the blinds?
The sunglasses made the world look bearable. Now I could keep my eyes open without feeling like a vampire in the sun.
Why does he have no blinds? So anyways, the end of that last section with the Thomas Zane wrote a story that had Alan Wake get the thing, and then also looped into the story that, the events that are currently happening with Alan, doing some stuff, which we will see during this this final chapter.
I wasn't sure
episode,
I'd make
whatever.
it out there without some painkillers.
So yeah, so it's like now we have the question of, okay, did Thomas Zane write that Alan wrote all this stuff? We've got like a chicken and eggs situation here. In which case, the chicken, but we don't know what that is in this context.
The pills worked fast. The prospect of being awake started to seem bearable again. There was a message waiting for me on the machine.
You have one new message.
Ow! Are you still asleep? Wakey, wakey! You should have your show on your TiVo. Alice wasn't too mad to record
Remember
it.
TiVo?
Yeah, she called me earlier and really chewed me out. Yeah, we went a little overboard last night. But parties are a part of this business. Al, look, I'm saying this as your friend. She's not doing your career any favors by trying to run your life like that, okay? I'll talk to you later, Al. Watch the show.
Why are there no blinds or curtains on any of the windows in this apartment? Why is there a giant QR code on Alan Wake's wall? So many questions, so few answers.
I'd been a guest on the talk show the previous night, talking about my latest book. The show was supposed to be waiting for me on our TiVo.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Harry Gallic Show.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. We have a great show tonight. I've been talking with the best-selling author Alan Wake about his new book, The Sudden Stop.
Yeah, good read. Go buy it.
No, it is a good read. Look, I'm gonna be honest here.
Is that wise?
No, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I got people who give me the lowdown on books. I'm a busy guy. But this one, I actually read from cover to cover. I mean, I'm a big fan.
Wow, thanks.
Now, this might be a spoiler for those who haven't read the book yet. Based on the sales figures, the 2 people out there who haven't read the book yet. But this last book is all about the death of the main character, the hard-boiled New York detective, Alex Casey. Now, there's been a lot of outrage about this. Why the hell did you kill Casey? What the hell were you thinking, man?
Good riddance. No, seriously though, 7 years and 6 books is a long time. He was a gloomy guy to spend all your working hours with, and it was a good run. But it's time to explore new things. My next book will be a departure from the old for me.
You selfish bastard, always thinking of yourself. Well, you've certainly given us a lot of entertainment over the years. And now that you mention it, Casey was a gloomy guy. Never had much luck with his love life with the ladies. Was that autobiographical in any way?
Yeah, no kidding. Casey's lady friends tended to die on him. With Casey, it was all about his pain. No, nothing autobiographical about that. I'm a happily married man. My wife is my muse.
Well, congratulations. That's great to hear. So, how's the publicity tour been treating you?
Good, great. But I gotta say, I'm glad to be back home in New York.
Well, you've certainly been on the news a lot lately. Lots of parties and, you got into a fight with some paparazzi.
Oh, man.
Has anybody ever seen an author on a talk show?
I lost my temper.
Like a fiction author?
I know that wasn't cool.
You are famous for that temper.
Well, I did also write several books.
Well, your latest novel is called The Sudden Stop, and it's in bookstores now. Go get it. That means the 2 of you out there who haven't bought it yet. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all we have for you tonight. I want to thank all our guests for the evening. Alan Wake, Sam Lake. Once more, do that face for Sam. There it is. And our musical guests, Poets of the Fall. Thank
Sam Lake wrote this.
At least I've been funny. I told myself I could live with that.
Yeah.
I didn't say anything stupid if that's what you want to know.
Okay, Grumpy. You want an aspirin or something?
John
Are you gonna start with
Green.
me about drinking now?
You know what? Go back to sleep, Alan.
I'm not sure. I don't know who
What?
John Green
Now you
is.
can't even talk to me?
Well, this
I'm
morning
a
I was
Philistine.
angry because you said you'd be home at midnight and you showed up at 7 a.m. and passed out in mid-sentence. Now I'm over it. Are you angry?
James Patterson.
Goddamn
I don't.
tour. It's
Yeah, I
got
mean,
no
I've never
name.
seen it, but I believe
Oh,
it.
honey. It's almost over, right? We can get back to normal. Then you can start writing again.
I'm sorry, honey.
Alan, you're not thinking straight. Just take a shower and go back to bed, huh?
I'm being serious.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't know
honey.
who John Green is.
I'm sorry. Once this is over, let's go away together. A vacation. Just you and me. Some peace and quiet.
Oh, John Green. Okay, I do actually know who John Green is. Kind of.
Somehow, the clicker was the key to the cabin. I had to
Okay, but
return
he's-
to Cauldron Lake to save Alice.
Also a YouTuber, podcaster, and philanthropist. Which is not just an author. Like, I mean someone who's just an author.
I'm going back to the lake to finish this. I'm going to write an ending to the story in the manuscript on my own terms, to make it all right.
Why can't you just write it here?
The last page is still in the typewriter. I need to read it first. Everything needs to be just right. Zane tried to cut some corners, and it didn't end well.
Okay, ready when you are.
I'm sorry, Sarah, but I need to do this alone. Barry, take her gun. Miss Weaver, close the door when I leave.
Good luck, Al.
See you later. When I got out, it was warm and sunny. I'd flicked the switch of the clicker. Had it done this? I didn't stop to question it. I had to take advantage of the sunlight to get to the lake. On Zane's page, I'd stood on the rim of Cauldron Lake, about to use the clicker. That's where I was headed.
So I know of John Green, but I don't actually know of John Green for anything that John Green has done. I only know of him because he made a random guest appearance in another thing that I was watching.
In daylight, surrounded by the beauty of the Pacific Northwest landscape, it was hard not to let doubt creep in one last time. I could still chalk everything up to a dream, a delusion. I had enough imagination to make up something like this. Having been in the cabin all this time, trapped in a story inside my head, gone mad from grief over Alice's death like Hartman had claimed, there would be no way of knowing. I told myself it didn't really matter. My course was set.
Oh my god. Friggin' Verizon ad. I apologize, Riley. It was not my intention to cause you physical pain. You have not mentioned that you don't read, Millie. Tell me more. So you haven't read, you haven't watched talk shows. Yeah, there was very earlier on, there was a very intense moment of the game where a Verizon ad just played on television for us. I guess we're driving. This is the worst part of this game. I mean, I don't know. Millie also says that they can't speak English, which is just demonstrably not true. So. Isn't James Patterson dead? Is James Patterson dead? I mean, he did write like 1 billion books. You have probably seen a movie that was adapted from a James Patterson book. Oh, I keep trying to look while driving, and it's so barfy. The Majestic Motel. just down the road, come on in. Comfortable beds, clean rooms, wireless internet, laundry facilities, cable TV, and kitchenette in every room. And there's a phone number to boot. Oh, that's so barfy. Yeah, that's fair, Millie. I mean, I think that's a fairly common thing where people read a ton when they're younger and then just kind of fall off it for at least a while. I certainly did that. I read more now than I did for a long time, but still nowhere near as much as when I was younger. But yeah, James Patterson, not huge among the, like, kid and teenage crowd. I guess we gotta walk.
The darkness had touched me. There was a link between us, always would be. I could feel its presence again, getting closer.
Are we're just gonna have to walk forever now? Oh, it's just night now. Wow. Couldn't open with a, like, hi, Alan. Nice to see you. Well, at least we get to keep our good flashlight. Unlike previous chapters. Wait, James Patterson writes children's books? Is that a recent development? Or has he been doing that for, like, a long time? Regular bird. Not darkness bird. The dark presence wants to stop Wake.
The dark presence was no longer trying to capture the writer so he could create the ending it wanted. The writer knew too much. He was too strong. And he carried a weapon left behind by Thomas Zane, something that could hurt it. Now, the darkness was doing everything in its power to simply stop the writer from ever reaching Cauldron Lake and the dark place it came from.
He writes them. In terms of James Patterson and the children's books. What does that mean, Riley? It's true. Yeah, that's very, very fair, very true, Millie. Getting your book banned from elementary schools in Florida is, I mean, at this point it feels like it's pretty easy, but it's like the lowest bar to clear almost. Why is James Patterson having ghostwriters write dozens of children's books? What, like, parents recognize the name or like, oh yeah, I'm gonna buy noted crime writer James Patterson's children's books? I'm just... he's no longer a man, he's just a brand. He's like, it's like the James Patterson Company. I'm sorry, I'm really struggling with this. It's, I don't know, it's upsetting to me. Yeah, people will buy wood, but James Patterson is not, like, in the poorhouse. Like, dude's got, I assume, like, tens or hundreds of millions of dollars, and is also, what, like, 80 years old or something? Like, he doesn't need that much cash. He's not short on money. I mean, I guess it could be for, like, his agent and other people around him that are just, it's an imprint? Oh my god. Okay, well, whatever makes you happy, I guess. But that is baffling to me. Just retire. More money's not going to make you happy. Like, it just seems a lot of work for so little gain. I mean, unless he's literally just, like, completely uninvolved in it. He's just like, yeah, sure, use my name, do whatever, and then gets a check every month. That is still so weird to me.
Based on the signature in the motel register, Agent Nightingale had stayed here, in room number 2.
Just like, I'm imagining Stephen King did like, oh yeah, Stevie King brand children's books. Totally, obviously. The Majestic Motel, general information. Refundable $100 security deposit is required on all reservations. No personal checks accepted. We take all major credit cards and bank cards. Checkout time is 10 a.m. No loud music, no pets. 1 vehicle per unit. Facilities are for registered guests only. No visitors are allowed on the premises after 9 p.m. No exceptions. We hope you enjoy your stay at the Majestic. If you're a senior or a vet, ask about our discounts. Wait, what? Stephen King? Oh my god. Stephen King has written children's books? I don't know what to do with this. Okay. That's all I got. Publishes under the pen names Beryl Evans. Okay, well, I have more respect for that.
This had obviously been the room where Agent Nightingale had stayed when he hadn't been busy harassing me.
Stephen King has written every other book under the sun. Yeah, that feels true, Millie. That's all that cocaine in the 80s and 70s and 90s, but possibly also the 2000s.
Just yourself and your co-workers.
Could have fooled me, pal.
But yeah, writing it under a pen name, it's like, okay, you know, you're Stephen King, and you want to write a children's book. So you just, you write the children's book that you want to write, and then you publish it under a pen name to see if you can hack it as a children's writer. Like, you know, the same thing he did with, oh god, what was the other pen name he did? Richard something. Oh, why can't I remember this? Richard Bachman. That's the one. Where, yeah, Stephen King basically was like, did I just get lucky? Or am I a good writer? And then he wrote some not great books that didn't sell super well until people found out that that they were written by Stephen King. Although, to be fair, when Stephen King wrote his, you know, Stephen King books, he had editors who were like, yeah, you can do this. No, you can't do this. This is a good idea. This is a bad idea. And when he wrote the Bachman books, he was Stephen King, so he was just like, I'm gonna do what I want. And yeah, that didn't go well. Editors, super important. Having no creative constraints is almost always bad for creativity. Wait, John Green has a brother who's famous? And presumably also on the internet? But yeah, Millie, I had the same thing where I was like, John Green the author? I have no idea. Hank Green is... I mean... Hank Green is like internet famous? Sorry, Riley. Internet famous is increasingly like just regular famous, I feel like. You know, there was a time where internet famous was like a joke, but now, well, John Green, for example, is internet famous. You know, the internet, we all live in the metaverse now. So internet famous is just regular famous. this is like, I feel like this game hits a level of jump scare that I'm happy with. Like, generally I don't like... generally I don't like jump scares, but this, it's like, I can live with it. And I guess that's what, you know, the vibes in this game are really good. Yeah, I mean, that's fair, Millie. It is sometimes hard to gauge that stuff about, like, how famous, how well-known a person is. But seemingly we're all having difficulty with that in this conversation. And, you know, also discovering it's not... Some things we think are universally known maybe are not. I did have a boss once who didn't know who Tom Cruise was, though, which I did not know how to process. Especially as someone who's like a huge film nerd growing up. Not having any idea who Tom Cruise was just... I did not understand how you could get into your, like, mid-20s and not, like, avoid encountering any information about Tom Cruise whatsoever. Ah! What did that one know? Oh, flashback. Ow. Flashback.
Nice to see you, too.
We all have blind spots, Millie. Nobody can know everything. There we go. Boost the lights is different. It's a different control in cars than it is when you're just on foot. Is this ghost car? Get rid of that. Perfect. Get out of this car because it's not great. And save point. Save point. Save point. I'm wondering now if I, like, played through the first half of this game, like, more times than I played through the entire game. Because I feel like the deeper we get into this game, the less clear my recollections of it are. Well, gotta get that coffee thermos. Like, it is one of the goofier things about this game that you walk around collecting coffee thermoses for no reason. But it is probably the thing that I hope, like, if they keep one thing about this in the sequel, I hope collecting coffee thermoses is part of it. And I also, I'm not sure if I want them to acknowledge it in any way, or just be like, yeah, seems normal. I kind of feel like we've turned around. No, this is... Okay, yeah, we drove... Yes, we're going this way. This is the way we're going. Oh, right, we were trying to call it. Doing. Going back to where it all started. We'll just speed through this. Don't worry about it too much. I'm sure there's, like, collectibles I'm missing or something, but whatever. Oh, here we go. Darkness Goop. As promised, I guess. Ow, what the? Rude. Don't. Oh, okay. Oh, that works. Alright, flare. Wait. Is John Green my Lord of the Rings? What? I'm trying to parse that sentence and I'm having challenges with it. Is this... Oh, okay. Please go away. Oh my god. What? Oh, you've never seen Lord of the Rings. No, that's fine. I mean, you've seen no movies, so that's to be expected, right? But have you read Lord of the Rings? Oh, I forgot to change away from the bunch things again. Please leave me alone. What did I ever do to you? Pick up that flare. Oh my god. Well, no, Riley, you're saying you've read all the books. You're the book expert. Our resident book expert. And Lord of the Rings is only like 4,000 pages or something. Oh, I guess I just was super close to a flashbang, huh? Okay. I don't know, it felt like 4,000 pages. I read about half of it. Because I got tired of Tolkien's propensity to be like, and then the hobbits came across a field of grass, and in that field of grass there was a blade of grass. It was green and pointy and had a little dew on it, and beside that blade of grass was another blade of grass. This blade of grass was similar to the first blade of grass, and so on and so forth, forever. Similar to... Why? No, leave me alone! Similar to George R. R. Martin and describing foods in Game of Thrones. Every feast just like goes on forever. Why can't I pick up this flare? Weird. Yeah, I was nowhere near the Cimmerillion ever. Stop it. I'm just going through a nice evening walk through this abandoned tunnel filled with vehicles. Why can't you just leave me in peace? Oh, did you read the entire, the entire that exists so far? What is it? Song of Ice and Fire? Song of Fire and Ice? Whichever order it is. I read about half of the first book. And then I was like, this is not for me. It was actually, I read about half the first one, and, wait, what else did he kill? But yeah, I started reading it when the show started airing, and because it was just like sequentially the same, I was just constantly behind, and I was like, also the show is just better. Oh, okay, yeah, half is skip, at least half. You know, they said kill your darlings, and he was like, okay. Yeah, I think for me it was The Wheel of Time did the same thing. I read through several of those books, and at a certain point, just like halfway through one of them, I just like closed it, set it down, never picked it up again. And then that was, I think, the start of my like my period of reading less.
The bottom of Cauldron Lake was a graveyard of things the lake had claimed in one way or another over the decades. The Dark Presence brought them up in its wake, scattering the rotten waterlogged hull of an old boat here, the remains of a long-ago crashed airplane there, trees shattered under the impacts. The earth groaned. It didn't even notice.
So it's like the Bermuda Triangle. Yeah, I wonder if it's like a causal thing, Millie, where you like, you know, people go through that binging on big books. Another Verizon billboard. And that like causes like, I don't know, like reading burnout or something, or if it's just, you know, finishing high school usually, or getting towards the end of high school and then starting university, and, you know, life happens. And then it's correlation, not causation. Because, I mean, I definitely had the similar thing with, like, the bigger books. Yeah, Riley, smaller books, definitely, it's easier to get that sense of reward, where you're like, yeah, I accomplished something, I finished a book. I am currently taking a break from a Stephen King book, which I am also just blanking on the name of. It's The Tommyknockers, to read Horror Store, which is about a haunted IKEA knockoff. It's a quick read, and the concept is great. Yeah, I'm holding out judgment until I finish it, but the execution I have some thoughts. Not totally satisfied with it. There's some I think there's some, well, the big thing is there's just like some monologuing by the villain which in a horror story just really cuts the tension when the villain, like, explains their evil plan in great detail. But yeah. Yeah, Millie, the Dark Tower is a whole separate thing. I have not touched any of the Dark Tower stuff and don't really have any interest in it. But I do like some of his other horror stuff. And also, like, the impact he has had on popular horror culture. I mean, like, it was a big impact, big influence on this game. For better and for worse. Let's see. All visitors must see the yard manager. You must sign a liability waiver before entering the yard. If you're looking for a specific part, ask for it first. For you pull it, you must bring your own tools, wear protective clothing. Warning, junk piles may shift, hazardous area. Auto salvage and used parts, yeah. Yeah, when I was a kid, Goosebumps was the thing that I read, like, obsessively. We had so many of those books, because I could not get enough of them. And then switched over to fantasy for a long time, but, and only, I guess I was in high school, I read a fair bit of Stephen King, and have been picking some of that up in the last couple of years as well. So, yeah, not perfect as a writer, hugely influential, some really good ideas in there, and also some really good writing. I've actually been listening to, Ranged Touch does a podcast called Just King Things, where they are reading through the works of Stephen King in publication order, and I find it really very interesting. More interesting than reading the Stephen King books, honestly, probably. So if anyone's looking for a new podcast to pick up, I would definitely recommend that one. The other one I've been listening to recently is The Eggplant, The Secret Life of Games, which is a kind of a game design podcast. Oh, I can't believe I wasted that. Oh well. I took a book to read on the Canada trip, which I had actually started to read before, really liked it, but still couldn't bring myself to finish it. Didn't read a single page. I did the same thing when I went back to Canada. I brought a book that sat in my backpack the entire time. What was the book, Millie? Wait, we're back here. What even happened there? Okay, we went through that to open the gate. I see. I get it. It is, like, a thing I find super interesting about games like this is the way they give you the illusion of freedom. Where it feels like you're kind of exploring and doing, you know, stuff, and that you have choice and agency on where you're going and what you're doing, but actually you're kind of going in a straight line. It's a really impressive trick. Gideon the Ninth by Tamsin Muir. I have never heard of that. Made the tactical error of bringing your Switch, so every time I could have read, I had the strong urge to play Zelda. Yeah, I brought my laptop, so I spent a lot of time working on side projects and playing Stellaris. I think we have to get out of the car now. What kind of book is Gideon the Ninth? Thomas Zane's Last Dive.
Zane cut its heart out, but it didn't die. The thing that wore Barbara's face kept crooning sweet nothings sugar-laced with poison. He put on the suit, untied the monster from the chair, The thing in his arms thrashed weakly, but he held fast. He stepped outside, off the pier, and into the dark water, a sinking pinprick of light descending toward a bottom that never came.
Sci fantasy with horror elements. Okay, I'm intrigued. About space necromancers. Okay, now I'm very intrigued. This old QuickTime event. Oh, that's a trend in video games, I'm glad, is mostly stopped. The QTE cutscenes. It's, you know, I understand it. I understand how that decision was made to use to add QTs to cutscenes, where they're like, oh, cutscenes are just movies. You know, it's not a game. We need to gamify it. But QTs are that's not the solution. Oh, don't you? Don't. No. Now we're just playing Christine, the video game. God, now I'm actually wondering if that is actually the inspiration for this, is the ending of Stephen King's Christine. I think we have to get out now. Hey. Rude. Okay. Would you stop that? I think I made a tactical error. Yep, I made a mistake. Or did I? No, I made a mistake. Okay, I'm supposed to hit this. I see it. Okay, I guess we were supposed to, like, hit that button immediately and then have this slowly opening while we had to fight the, whatchamacallit, bulldozer. Alright. So I think we're gonna try to get to Cauldron Lake, and we'll probably call it at that point, because it is getting late here, and I actually should practice some Swedish this evening, because I have my first Swedish lesson in a couple of months tomorrow.
When I told Barry my plan back in the well-lit room, I'd acted as if I knew what I was doing. I didn't. I was operating on the shifting logic of a dream. I had to fight my way to the lake through the horrors of the night. I had to flick an old battered light switch imbued with childhood magic. I had to write a happy ending to a horror story. I had to save my wife from the dark prison she was being held in.
I still don't understand. Like, it's very effective, the sound design in these spaces, but there's like a breathing sound in the background. No, it seems to have stopped now. I wonder if it's just like the crate. Oh no, there it is. Anyways. Several of those, there's been like a creepy little breathing in the background by those crates. Oh, there it is again. Like, I think it's good. It's successfully creepy. I'm just not sure what it's supposed to be. If it's supposed to be like, I don't know, some kind of wind whistling through something, or just creepy ghosts breathing over your shoulder. Okay, we're in a combat arena. No, we'll keep this. So we'll have to, like, what? We'll hit some button or something.
I will never give her to you.
Oh no, now everything's gonna... Yeah, there we go. No, that jump. Honestly, Millie, I would be so happy if that was a thing. If it turned out there was just some creepy thing, some shadow monster that was following you, not actually harming you, never showing up, but just hinted that it was there every once in a while. Because that's, like, that unknown threat, to me, is so much scarier than, like, a man coming at you with, you know, throwing sickles at you and running real fast, dodging back and forth. Like, yeah, like, you know, the vibes in this game are good in spite of that stuff, I think, not because of it. Oh, turret section. Yeah, I'm really curious if this was this always broken, where, like, the enemies don't move when you're in the turret? Like, this is, yeah. Oop. Just pick this stuff up. Oh, can we turn this around? Oh, we can't. We can do this. Oh, he didn't. I think that's the first time we've seen someone get, like, knocked over by... Oh, well, never mind. Never mind. Yeah, I'm trying to think how you could structure something like that into a game, Millie, where it's like, just have an entire game that's about that. That's about this thing that is following you. And it's always hinted that it's there. Like, it seems like you could, like, there's a core of a really, really strong experience there. I'm just not sure how you could build a mechanic around it to maintain that sense of threat without necessarily it actually being there. I mean, I guess Amnesia: The Dark Descent kind of did that, where, spoilers for Amnesia: The Dark Descent, you could never actually die in that game. It just basically tricks you into feeling like you are in a constant state of danger.
The dark place I found myself in was unlike anything I could ever have imagined. It wasn't solid. It flowed. It was conceptual and subjective. For someone else, an artist in another field, it would have been very different. I could sense the story of the manuscript all around me, the words and ideas floating in the air, poised to become real.
All right, I think we're going to get to the next checkpoint, and then we're going to call it, because I can feel the fatigue setting in. So probably won't make it all the way to Cauldron Lake. But that's fine. We still have a couple weeks left. This is the next checkpoint. We'll do one more checkpoint because this was way too soon. I can't. Ridiculous.
I could see Mirror Peak in the distance. That's where Cauldron Lake was.
But I got like 10-15 minutes left, I think. So, yeah. Armored Core 6 comes out tomorrow. So I am thinking I might give that a shot. Maybe Friday, maybe... Yeah, I might do an extra stream on Friday. Or possibly just play it on Sunday. Let's see. There are games that have done that on a small scale, like Undertale or even Elden Ring, where if you really pay attention, you may notice that certain characters are stalking you. But it being a core concept would be interesting, like paranoia in general. Yeah, that's exactly it. It's like giving you that sense that something is wrong and that you are in danger, but without needing to have, like, you know, people shooting at you and stuff. I'm just not sure like, how you would manage that mechanically. Like, how you would, what am I trying to say? Like, what would the actual gameplay be? Like, you could have that as a motivation. I mean, I guess you could do it in just like a walking simulator type of thing. Just have that extra thing. But I guess you would need... Yeah, you would need... Like, a problem with games is if there is no game impact of a thing. Players, it's very easy for players to ignore it. Fun to have a game with less paranoia? I mean, well, I don't know. I like a little... I want a spooky game that is not violent, not violence-based, and not jump scare-based. Something that's just creepy. Yeah, have a walking simulator that's about something different on the surface, but then you notice things being off. Yes. Yeah, Millie. I think that's a really good way to approach it. Have that slow, creeping sense of dread, like, building over the course of the game. And that's actually a really good way. Like, you could have big moments where it pays off in a walking simulator context, and, you know, possibly have that, like, advance the story, where, like, you know, hey, like, you pay enough attention and you figure out where this thing is, and that triggers some events that, you know, moves the story forward somehow. Yes, Millie, it's absolutely like that. There's a temptation, and I think a tendency in video games to just go, like, turn everything up to 11. And I think a lot of times games suffer for it. Like the big set pieces. Well, it was a lesson I was given in acting a long time ago, back in high school, where it's like, as an actor, you never want to give the audience just like go to 11, because the audience can tell at that point that you know, that's all you got. You always want to hold just a little bit back so that there's that sense that there is something more. Like, oh, we're not there yet. This is just building to something. But a lot of games, yeah, also like TV shows, movies, just go all to 11. They go to 11. They go all out. I'm reminded of the TV show 24 when they detonated a nuclear bomb in LA, and it's just like, okay, like, you're not going to top that. Sorry, but it's jumping the shark functionally, but a more dramatic jumping of the shark kind of thing. And yeah, video games love to do that, unfortunately, because it's all about, I mean, it's almost like the Michael Bay school of game design. It's all big action set pieces, and very few games about subtlety. Very few games about subtlety. All right, we hit this checkpoint. I think I'm going to call it. As much as I am enjoying this conversation, and kind of want to take it a little further, I think it is sensible for me to call it now. Do a little bit of Swedish study, and get to bed at a decent hour. Since I did not do that yesterday, I have been recreating the city of Ottawa, where I mostly grew up. It's 11:30 p.m. It is early. By the time I'm in bed, you know, we'll aim for like a 1:30 a.m. bedtime, a totally normal and acceptable bedtime. Yeah, yesterday I was in bed late because I have been recreating the city of Ottawa in City Skylines in great detail. Maybe I'll stream some of that at some point. Actually, what I'll probably do, I've been recreating it because I want to go through and like 9:30 is no, that's unrealistic, Riley. 9:30 is just when I'm starting to wake up. But yeah, I'm recreating Ottawa, and then I want to go and like, why is everybody ganging up on me? 9:30 was 2 hours ago. So yeah, recreating the city of Ottawa in City Skylines with the intention of like building it as it is, and then going through and like redesigning large parts of the city. So I might do a a stream at some point once I've recreated it, once I am going through and fixing it. But that's probably not going to happen in the near future, because a lot of games coming out in the next little while. So yeah, I'm thinking maybe sometime in the next week or so I will play some Armored Core, since it's the new From Software game if you're not familiar. So Dark Souls but giant mechs. So I'm thinking I'll pick that up, play some of that, and then I think next week is it really next week? Yeah, it's like next Friday or something. Starfield is out, so the new Bethesda game. So I will probably play some of that on stream as well. I don't know if I'll play through the whole thing on stream because there's going to be a lot of game there. I've never played an Armored Core before either, Millie, but I have played through, Dark Souls. So I am curious, and I know several people who like swear by it as a series, so I'm thinking I'll give it a shot. Yes, Starfield, the place where you trek through the Star War. Exactly, you get it, Riley. Yes, Starfield. So it will be Elder Scrolls and Fallout 3, 4, but in space. Bethesda games, I will have lots to say about from a design perspective, because that is a series where every time I play it, the fantasy on the back of the box is your role-playing game. Pick who you want to be, go explore the world, make decisions, be whatever character you want to be. But the reality is you can be any character you want to be, as long as they are the most proficient murderer in the universe. And I find that really frustrating, because I would love to roleplay as a character who is not the most proficient murderer in the universe, but that's just not, those verbs are not available to you in those games. So it should be really interesting. I'm going to find it really interesting to play through that game and think about, okay, how could we make this encounter, this experience different and support nonviolent? Or maybe we'll find that this is the first Bethesda game where you don't have to shoot your way or kill your way through the entire story. I doubt it, but you never know. So yeah, so that's going to be coming up at some time soon as well. But yeah, definitely we'll be back on Sunday. Might do another stream Friday or Saturday for Armored Core. And then, yeah, another something random for my backlog on Tuesday, and then more Alan Wake next Wednesday. Yes, Millie, it's what is a video game without a gun? Nothing. It's impossible. It doesn't exist. Every video game has a gun. Otherwise, it's just chess. And that's not a video game. Sad but true. Sad but true. Anyways, thank you so much for hanging out a little bit. And I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day. And chess is interesting because it kind of is violent. It's war, right? It's a little abstract, but it's war. Animal Crossing New Horizon definitely has a gun. I will not. It's a video game, so it must. It just has to. Tom Nook. Oh, we're not going to get into Tom Nook. We don't have time. Anyways, thank you so much for hanging out, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day, your evening, your immediate bedtime. Take your pick. And yeah, hopefully I will see some of y'all on Sunday. Bye. Bye for now.